down to business. told him to spray it with water to retain moisture before applying the film. You can't treat a glaze lily like a cactus. If Sanjay does this again, the loss will have to come out of his food expenses.
I'll go talk to him. At this rate, he won't even be able to afford eating cacti for much longer.
Hey, Tighnari!
Oh, it's you two. It's been a while. What brings you to Port Ormos?
We didn't have anything to do, and this place looked...
Well, Port Ormos is currently The exhibition includes flowers from Even So. And
Oh! And...
Not this time, no. I'm just here to help out. The expert in charge is some...
Mr. Tighnari! Sanjay! He confused the poisonous bulbs with garlic shoots, and he ate them!
Never mind. Forget about what I said about the food Apologies, Traveler, Paimon. Looks like I've got something to take care of.
Tighnari's busy no matter where he is, huh? Yeah, seems like it. Hey, don't look at Paimon. Well, looks like Tighnari might be busy for a while. Let's take a look around the port in the meantime. Wow, look at these flowers! They smell so...
Huh?
Paimon's... fine. She's just got a little...
Rainbow roses, glaze lilies, and Cecilia's?
It's getting worse. Why? Oh. But, I was fine just a moment ago.
Ah, a moment of your time, you two? If it's not too much trouble, perhaps you could try this incense.
Incense? Oh, the scent is so nice! Wait! Whoa, that was fast!
Think nothing of it. From your attire, I imagine you'd seen as we're both travel.
Oh, so you're here...
I suppose
Paimon is...
the traveler, right? I've heard a lot about...
What happened back there?
Have you ever heard it? To put it...
What?
Well, we're all different, but there's no need to worry. Pollen out...
Oh, well that...
Traveler! Paimon! There you are. I left in such a hurry, I forgot to warn Emily.
It was nothing. I'm more curious as to why you thought...
Remember the first time we met? You
The spirit born...
It's not really some...
Exactly.
Whoa. Good thing Paimon...
In addition to
And that's what...
A flower?
Well, I did...
Oh, Paimon was sure she...
It's a kind of...
Oh, goose.
In an ancient... Ah, that reminds me. Perfume. It all started when several merchants released their... No one anticipated... The demand was twofold. The value of these products... But at the end of the day, perfume is... Luckily, in the end, only a few...
What does all this...
Well...
10 million? Then what about...
After the mania ended, most perfumes returned to its namesake, the flower used to create it, went extinct. As a result, no new... Indeed. When the bubble popped...
But...
Ah, yes.
Traveler, we should help Emily look for it.
I have to agree.
Even if I can... Divine, noble, one of a kind. All beautiful sentiments when it comes to perfume.
Wow.
Of course, every so often, someone will claim to have recreated the unique scent of a goose.
Okay, that's...
Ever since that rumor, if I can then I'll be free.
That makes sense.
Oh, I would have...
Well, you said it...
Huh.
Based on the information I have so far, it's Mr. Edgar.
Huh.
Edgar?
The person you back when he was still.
I should also.
So this guy was a famous perfumer in Fontaine, but then he came to Sumeru to teach people from Fontaine? It sounds confusing.
It's a long story. If you're interested, we can talk more about it when we see it. He should be staying near the hotel. Apparently, the exhibitor paid a large sum to rent out the hotel and surrounding buildings. They're being used as temporary storage facilities and lodging for exhibition personnel.
Yeah, what if guests come early? They won't have anywhere to stay. Also, renting out this big of a hotel, how are they gonna make that more of that?
It's been so long. Well, oh yeah, all this catching up is nice.
Hold on. We have
It's nice to see you again, Master.
Emily. I've heard you.
Oh, well.
I've taught. And who are these two?
They're my new friends, the Traveler and Paimon.
Emily's friends.
And these two
I'm. Yes.
merchant brothers?
You must be here to look for the...
Huh? Well, what respectable perfume.
I'm guessing you're here for the same reason, Emily. I commissioned a few eremites to do some scouting for me. That being, some of them were a one-of-a-kind.
No, I don't think so. I doubt that's... Auguste is even more prone to... Although, could there be a...
Impossible. If a goose were.
Technically speaking...
Well, let's.
No. By the time they compared to things we see.
Wait. Are you saying. Just thinking out.
We don't have much to go off. You all traveled.
Ooh, you've got the keys to the room?
I managed to.
Oh, and...
Don't worry, Master. I can sleep on the boat tonight. Or I could even camp in the wild. It would... although...
Well.
Of course.
All right then. I'll prepare.
Whoa, the smell of flowers is so strong. Didn't Edgar... Paimon took a peek through the window earlier and his house was packed with flowers.
No, that's a florist thing. We work closely with the essential oil...
Oh, guess there's just too much to store for the exhibition then.
Oh, this room blaze. Yes. All right then. Where can we?
It's still at the port. In addition to some daily necessities, there's also a case of amber wine that I brought back. Could I trouble you? Is that so? Mr. Ood, Mr.
Hey! What are you doing?
That's Master's voice.
Edgar!
Master!
Hey, Edgar. Are you all right? Who did this?
Kyria. Oku.
Kyria. Hey, Edgar? Edgar!
No, don't shake him. He's injured. Just leave him to me. You two can... Oh, thank you. Skin is flushed.
That strange smell around here. Is it coming from this bottle? Oh, really? You think... Do you think whoever did this was hiding in the flowers before...
I checked. Oh, but that's impossible. Oh, the culprit, I mean. It's not like the culprit could have...
Well, we looked all over, but the only...
The most important thing we can do now is focus.
So, how's he doing?
When I administered emergency treatment, I discovered a residue in his nose. He's still unconscious, and inducing vomiting could obstruct his airways. Ah, yes. But first, Mr. Sylvain, Mr. Lucien.
Wait, you... Hey! Were you talking to us, mademoiselle? I'm afraid we...
Before arriving in Sumeru, I asked a friend from the Special Patrol to look into the creators of it. There were 4 people in total. The perfumer, a researcher, the 2 brothers. In the end,
And what does that have to do with us?
every time your brother called you...
Ah, miss, you have a bright future ahead of you. What?
Amber wine is a unless...
Emily, you little.
Don't misunderstand, Mr. Sylvain. I don't bring the... But Master's life isn't... If Master's attack... So I'd like to try...
Fine.
Sylvain?
Lucien, if this will help us find Kyria. You were right, Miss Emily. There were 4 of... Sometime...
Sounds like he's still upset about that. Wait, then how did Edgar end up...
Master was convicted as an accomplice, so he only had to serve a few years. He decided to move to Sumeru so that Still, that's how I met... But we can talk about that some other time. I want to hear more about this researcher, ʔʟᴏ.
Like, but...
But this...
It didn't matter at that...
What?
Sounds like you did an investigation of your own. Why even ask us if you...
The name wasn't mentioned in any of the files I reviewed either.
Kyria was ʔʟᴏ. He was just a clueless... ʔʟᴏ kept him after all.
So, you think...
ʔʟᴏ doted on if she left something behind before...
And judging by the liquid in that bottle, the Auguste flower wasn't the only thing he reproduced. He managed to
So the liquid Edgar was forced to ingest really was a...
poison! If Auguste could be considered... He probably... We're not looking for Kyria because we have it out. We only went to prison as long as we keep things...
So that's why you never mentioned...
Yes, exactly.
Anyway...
Well, at least we're able to...
Well, glad to hear. Lucien, let's head back to the room and rest a bit.
Yes.
You think so too? That does seem to be... But based on Sylvain's tone of voice just now, I suspect further questioning will only result in more made-up answers.
The way you exposed them like that? Just based on a hunch? Oh, right! Earlier you said you were only sort of a doctor.
Oh yes, that's because most of the patients I encounter are already dead.
So you're...
Close. In fact, with just a small basically, I've learned a lot in my line of work, and I've witnessed a lot of death. But this time, we may still save the patient. Actually, Traveler, could I trouble you to... I'll stay here and
Whoa, why the rush? Did something happen?
What? Edgar was attacked? He's the most famous perfumer in the region. Someone who's helped countless people around Port Ormos.
Sheriff, have you received any reports of a suspicious individual fleeing through the bazaar?
No, but we've got eyes all over the area. I'm sure someone's seen Kyria. I'll start gathering my forces. We won't let him get away.
I'm sure the sheriff can Then she was far, not to mention the fact, as for me.
Oh, that's right.
From Emily's letter, certainly. But I didn't have time to look into it. I have friends in Sumeru. I'll leave you and Emily to watch over.
Well, it's been a day. Wonder if Tighnari's discovered anything. But things weren't looking good with Emily's master yesterday. We should check on things at the hotel first.
No longer in critical condition, thankfully. He's still... My chemical analysis of a goose also went smoothly, although it's certainly I was able to identify the components...
Elemental energy?
Hard to say. I had to use one, unless you were as for weather...
Oh, that reminds... Oh, Paimon thought he might have stopped...
Excuse me? Is Miss Emily here? Oh, perfect! Familiar face...
Of course, Tighnari's apprentice. He's mentioned you many times. And please, no need for formalities.
Oh,
Did Tighnari send you here?
Yep. Master and the others went through anyway, based on what they've reviewed so far, Master considered that possibility as well.
How is that possible?
It's starting...
Hey! Lucian!
It's Sylvain! Wait, you don't think Curio came back, do
That seems impossible. If someone came in or out of the hotel... It's locked?
There's no one here.
Lucian! 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 Come on! Emily! Emily!
I'm sorry, Mr. Sylvain.
No, that's not...
Traveler, Kale, Mr. Sylvain has gone. He needs some space to come.
Of course. Leave it to me.
Thank you. Mr. Sylvain? We'll take things from here. Just focus on getting some rest. Here, this way.
Poor guy. He may have made some bad decisions.
Good person or bad. The death of a loved one is all the moments he shared with his...
If Curio...
Lucian can no longer... Traveler, I've got...
would have thought? Miss Emily,
Oh, I'm not I did take.
then...
Of course, I appreciate.
We'll help. And the windows are... Well, looks like we've investigated...
So, did you find anything?
Paimon can show you. Here, it'd be something like this.
But entering through the room next door without alerting Sylvain...
No, his reaction.
Then, what could have happened?
I agree.
Mr. Sylvain, I need...
After Kyria attacked Edgar, we returned to our rooms and decided to lock all the doors. The only door... But I didn't hear any sort of commotion last night. Not a single noise!
So, no movement from the room next door. No signs of a struggle.
I did notice a few things about the body. Lucien's pupils were... There weren't any traces of liquid in his mouth or nose, so it's
A goose? No, that's not possible. Inhaling a goose? No. That's not what I meant. Emily, you ran your tests, didn't you? Go on. Tell everyone whether you found any poison.
No, I didn't find any common toxins.
See? A goose is harmless. The market response proved that years ago.
That may be true for most people, but not for everyone.
Master!
Edgar? You're up and about already?
Thanks to Emily. Sylvain, no matter how hard you may...
Edgar!
Even if we could keep... No, he would That's... Yelena wasn't a scholar from Sumeru.
The Fatui.
Ah, so you've already...
Oh,
The August...
The Fatui.
Born of a delusion.
that's enough, Edgar. At first, Yelena, I didn't have any of...
So you decided...
Listen, it's not...
It may be true there are no records of a goose, but even if no one was acutely poisoned, that explains why you were so... The Fatui.
Ha! If I'd known... Oh, a goose...
So there's bad blood between.
What about Yelena?
I'll admit, we thought about it at one point. We took care to disguise the product circulating on the market. And no, but if the µʟᴏᴏᴅ Phantom decided to look in before we could even put our...
But if her goal was to destroy evidence, there would have been no reason to do that to herself.
Yeah, she could have just burned the flower beds and fled with her brother.
I thought about it. Everything. One of the reasons after arriving...
So she couldn't.
If her true... The August... So,
So the wealth you...
Most likely. That's why Lucy...
I don't think he knew his sister. Yelena always wore heavy makeup around him.
Then all we'll need to do is tell Kiria what...
I'm not so sure. Even if he knew the truth, he'd still... It's hard to pull yourself out of that kind of hatred. Especially...
Very true.
Edgar! What are you...
Think about it, Sil. If we hadn't...
She knew. We were just trying to earn a bit of moral. Lucian's... Fine. I've said my piece.
3 people from Fontaine, 1 from... Well, we can only wait until the Academia sends someone... With the exhibition, we don't even have space in Porto...
The hotel could suffice. Although with Sylvain's mental state and...
Mr. Edgar, are you saying...
If Sylvain is to... I'd just like to ask for Sylvain. Would you be willing to grant that request, Sheriff?
Well, all right. I'll talk to the Academia. No matter who... The man we grew to know in Sumer...
You have my thanks, Sheriff.
Happened tonight? Oh, you mean the pot...
Yeah! All we know is that he uses a goose to poison people. But we still have no idea how to... If he targets Sylvain or Edgar again, we might not be able to stop him.
That may be true. But what if we can take advantage... If we take advantage of this situation and lure him...
Master, no! That's too dangerous.
If Kiria learns we're being taken away tomorrow, his last chance... In other words, you want to use us as bait.
Capture? Not necessarily. I just want to talk. What?
Afraid? This is my only chance to make him pay for what he did. I'm spending the rest of my... As for the danger...
I'll admit, it could work. Then I'll station some of my men around the hotel. If we have your assistance as well, our chance of success...
I still have some reservations. But if you insist...
I'll also keep watch.
Although, I think Sylvain and myself, if Kiria noticed another person in the room...
You mean if he doesn't see a way to get his hands on the 2 of you?
If that were to happen, everyone's standing guard. Even the innocent citizens in Port Ormos would all...
That's why everyone else needs to keep to the shadows.
You're still recovering. You need to rest.
This old pack of bones doesn't bounce back like it...
All right. We can...
Have you heard? Mr. Edgar's been detained.
What? He's the one who helped craft all the fragrances for our shop.
He taught my child how to make perfume. How could this happen?
He hasn't been convicted yet. Let's just wait and see what the court has to say.
Oh, everyone on the street is talking about the rumors. No matter where Kiria is hiding, let's head back to the hotel and take a break. We can see how the other
Chef Xian wants to talk to you and the Traveler about our plans for the night walk.
Thank you, ﷺ. But first, here, I prepared a kind of herbal tea that helps calm the spirit. Why don't you have some?
Oh, that's very kind of you, but I'm okay.
Oh, it's not good to be so tense, especially when we've got a long night ahead of us. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I couldn't help but notice that something seems to be on your mind.
Was it that obvious?
You seem very preoccupied with Kyria's revenge. If there's anything you want to talk about, I'm happy to listen.
Oh, Hey, Emily, Kale. Oh, are we interrupting something? No, not at all. This will be easier to talk through with you here anyway. I've just been thinking. If Kyria has the capacity to commit murder while remaining completely undetected, why didn't he target Sylvain along with Lucien last night? There was just a single door separating them. If his intention was to target both brothers, then there was barely anything standing in his way. Don't you think? When I accompanied Sylvain to his room after Lucien died and saw how distraught he was, I suddenly realized. Maybe Kyria did that on purpose. Maybe he wanted Sylvain to experience the pain of losing a loved one before he completed his ultimate revenge.
So did he attack Edgar as a warning then? To scare Sylvain and Lucien?
Based on what we've heard about Kyria, that may very well be the case.
Losing his sister all those years ago. What has been going through his head? What has he been forced to endure? Whenever I get to thinking like that, I just can't help but wonder. If I were in his place, would I be able to let go of that hatred? I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't think like that. Not after everything he's done. But I just can't help it.
There's nothing wrong with the way you're feeling. Empathy is a part of human nature. In all my years of cleaning up crime scenes, I've witnessed countless families mourn their loved ones. Their cries of devastation and anger still echo through my mind, even now. Some of them even try to stop me, begging me not to erase the last remnants of their loved ones. But getting swept up in those emotions will corrupt your judgment. Surround yourself with fragrance for too long, and your sense of smell will become dull. Allow yourself to be consumed by your emotions, and you lose the ability to think rationally. So while you hold on to that sense of empathy, you also need to ask yourself, do Sylvain and Lucien really deserve to die? How much did they truly know about the Fatui and the delusion? Did they force Yelena to make those decisions? Answering those questions requires a lot of time and evidence, while a single act of vengeance can put those answers forever out of our reach. I've witnessed a lot of deaths in Fontaine. When someone dies, a certain amount of information can be inferred from the traces left behind at the scene. But generally speaking, death will just leave most questions unanswered, and the whole picture ever incomplete.
Once you're consumed by hatred, it will become next to impossible to think about things that way. For someone like Kyria, I'm sure right and wrong lost all meaning a long time ago.
You're right. The fact that we can approach these questions from this perspective isn't because we're more rational than them. It's because we're fortunate enough not to have suffered that kind of loss. But that also makes us perfectly positioned to stand on the outside and try to pull them back from the brink before it's too late. I understand Kyria's decision, but I still want to stop him. Master, Sylvain, and Kyria. They all deserve to survive.
The fortunate and the unfortunate.
Emily, Traveler. Huh? Edgar, you're here too?
Oh, it's you two. Didn't you head back to your room to rest, Edgar? Is it really okay for you to be out and about like this?
A little exercise never hurt anyone. Besides, I don't have much time left in Sumeru. So I'd like to take care of my plants while I still can.
We could do that for you, Master.
No need. I've grown attached to these flowers, and this is my last chance to say goodbye. Come tomorrow. I'll be happy to entrust their care to you. I would imagine Sheriff Sham is here for a more important reason.
The Night Watch! You mentioned earlier that we still need to confirm our plans.
That's right. I've stationed some of my men around the surrounding area, but we still don't have anyone standing guard next to Sylvain's room. Exactly. After some discussion, we concluded that Sylvain has the highest risk of being attacked next. You're the most skilled fighter here, Traveler. And Emily's expertise is sure to come in handy in a pinch. That's why I want you two stationed next to Sylvain.
Sounds perfectly reasonable. I'll be glad to have your help tonight, Traveler.
Not a peep. Has Kyria given up on his revenge? Guess we'll have to keep at it. Still nothing unusual. Paimon took a peek into the room next door and Sylvain's already sleeping.
Perhaps Kyria's true motive was simply forcing Sylvain to confess his crimes. No, that can't be right. If all he wanted was for Sylvain to be convicted for his true crimes, he could have tipped off the Marechaussee Phantom years ago. There must be something we're missing. Something extremely important.
Maybe we just need to calm down a little. How about some tea? You're right. Maybe we can look for a different distraction then, like looking at the flowers. Oh, there's a glaze lily here. Paimon didn't notice it earlier.
Flowers, glaze lilies, incense. Oh no! Sylvain's room! Quick!
Wait, what?
Hey, did you hear? Someone was attacked again.
It was the older of the merchant brothers, right?
Yeah, I think his name was Sylvain. Poor guy was murdered in cold blood.
First it was Mr. Edgar, then that merchant named Lucian, and now this.
Listen up, everyone. This is an active crime scene. Please, no loitering.
It's been 3 days and they haven't even caught a glimpse of the guy.
Do you think it could be the work of an evil spirit? I mean, how do you get away with something like that with so many people
Keep it moving, everyone. No loitering.
I suppose I'm next.
You don't know that. Kyria already attacked you once, and you survived. Perhaps he doesn't consider your crime to be worthy of death.
You were the only reason I managed to survive, Emily. I never did thank you for that, did I?
Even if I wasn't there, Tainari was also in the vicinity. He would have been able to help.
Is that so? I suppose I'm a very fortunate person then. I have exceptional students, caring friends, and the respect of my peers. If it is indeed my time to go, then I'll die without regrets. But Kyria has nothing. Yelena is gone. Now his enemies are too. It really makes you wonder if there's even a reason to keep on living.
If you really want an answer, I suppose you'll have to ask Kyria himself, once we finally catch him.
Well, Emily, there's something else I'd like to ask of you. With everything that's happened, holding the but so many flowers were transported here for the show. Some of them thousands of miles. Whether Kyria gets to me first, I know it's
Of course.
Really? Now
Sheriff Sham still...
Go ahead. Best not to keep him waiting.
I'm sorry, Master.
Another all-nighter. Paimon sure hopes
Emily still isn't back. I hope she didn't run into any trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
Traveler, I had my men start spreading the information you requested. The crowd, after listening to Emily's plan, I started getting the materials together and arranging. To be honest, I'm still not sure how.
The key clue was right in front of us the entire time. Let's go. We'll show you where the culprit hid it.
lily, huh? I think I've heard of it before. It's a flower from ლიᴇ.
Well, did you know it only blooms at night?
Emily, you're back!
Exactly.
A flower that only blooms in...
Exactly. Oh, that's why Kyria chose the glade.
If according to the flower pot, the liquid... that doesn't sound right. I need... If applied to the... that... There's a sticky substance. If you stick the petals...
That's right. He applied a diluted form of slime That way, the agouste... However, the diluted slime condensate wouldn't be viscous enough to prevent the petals of the glaze lily from opening at night. So by nightfall, the flower would bloom, thereby forcing the target to inhale the agouste trapped inside.
And Kyria could execute his revenge without having to step foot inside the room during the night.
By the next morning, the sample of agouste would have nearly fully evaporated. The glaze lily would have already closed its petals, and any lingering odor would be concealed by the...
Wait a second. You're telling me this version of agouste is so toxic, inhaling the minute amount trapped inside a flower is enough to kill a grown man? And how did Edgar even survive ingesting a whole bottle of the stuff?
That's because agouste is just as dangerous now as it was all those years ago. The level...
You mean people who... That can't be right. They were involved in the operation all those years ago. If the stuff gave them a bad reaction, they would have known from the very start.
I wouldn't use the word allergic necessarily. You can think of it this way.
The incense I smell... That doesn't sound right. The incense I smelled earlier. The incense I smelled earlier. The incense I smelled... In Sumeru.
Alchemically produced essential oils, the primordial seawater that caused unrest in Fontaine not too long ago. All of those are substances that can heighten your sensitivity to elemental energy.
That stuff gave us a lot of trouble when we first came to Sumeru.
Yes. I definitely remember that.
In Sumeru, it's not uncommon to use incense indoors, so its presence wouldn't arouse suspicion. The flowers in the room...
Flowers were pretty important to this plan, huh? The glazed lily is native to ლიᴇ. It would be completely unnatural to have one here in Sumeru if it weren't for the exhibition. What a coincidence.
Actually, it's not a coincidence at all.
No wonder he was willing to pay a small fortune to rent out the hotel.
He probably used the mora Yelena left him, don't you think? That money was supposed to set him free. But in the end, it was just a tool for his revenge.
There's a saying among forensic doctors in Fontaine. Every step you take leaves a mark. But up until this point, we haven't been able to detect any trace of Kyria's activity. But because he's been disguised as someone else this entire time.
Such an intricate mechanism out of a glaze lily. Setting up the spirit borneal in advance. It all points to one
Kiryu was only in his teens back then. He wouldn't even be 40 years old by now. Edgar's lived here for so many years. Even if he changed his appearance, going that long without giving anything away, it would be impossible.
Bad news, Sheriff! Mr. Edgar was attacked!
What?
A dark shadow-like figure just ran out of his room. It was giving off a really ominous aura. But before we could even react, the figure up and disappeared like some sort of ghost or something. By the time we got a look inside the room, Mr. Edgar was gone. Do you think Kiria kidnapped him?
I need you to think very carefully about this. Are you certain that figure wasn't Edgar himself?
I mean, Mr. Edgar was so frail. I don't see how he could have moved that fast.
It would seem Master decided to tap into an ill-advised source of power.
What? But that's so dangerous with the condition he's in. It's...
But why? Why would he do that? He's already accomplished his revenge.
No. If his aim was to target everyone who had a hand in Yelena's death...
If he left Sylvain alive yesterday, not out of a desire to see him suffer, but to confirm the truth about why Yelena chose to die...
Then there's still one target left.
The shadow-like figure ran in the direction of the elevator, and my partner immediately chased after them.
We should hurry before they're forced to confront each other.
Ghost! It's a ghost!
It's all right. Please, calm down and take a deep breath. Can you tell us what you saw?
I saw a black shadow. It ran right past me. How could something like that happen in broad daylight?
It's all right. I can detect a faint whiff of the scent from here. I would say he passed by this location not too long ago. It's this way. Please, follow me. This must be the place.
I'll keep this close.
Oh! O's! Are you all right? Were you
Let me take a look.
The air definitely feels heavy. It smells nice, but for some reason,
This feeling.
Everything looks all right. It was probably...
I can't rest. Mr. Edgar, he's a good man.
O's, you need to come.
But how is that Mr. Edgar is sick?
That's precisely why he had to resort to extraordinary... Kyria used a
No.
And what if the I've yet to confirm it, but I suspect Kyria killed the real Edgar while Edgar was incarcerated. The new Edgar then decided to relocate to Sumeru, seemingly out of an innocuous desire to let go of the past. He even left perfume making in favor of mentoring students. But these decisions were all for a specific purpose: the need to distance himself from anyone who might see through the facade. And Sumeru fit the bill to a T, with no one around to question his identity. All he had to do was grow a beard, don a pair of glasses, make a few minor alterations to his appearance, and everyone would believe he was exactly who he claimed: Edgar, a perfumer from Fontaine. As the years went by, he removed his disguise little by little and continued to refine his skills. It would have been a gradual process, one that ensured no one around him would notice anything unusual.
that explains why Sylvain said he barely recognized Edgar back at the hotel. He aged himself decades beyond his years just so he could accomplish his revenge. Is that even worth it?
I need to find Mr. Edgar. He's not that kind of person. He can't be.
What you really need is to get out of here and rest.
No, I can keep going.
Wait! This environment is likely being influenced by the delusion. Any discomfort, no matter how slight, should not be treated lightly. I know how to relieve your symptoms, Mr. Ooze. Please come with me and rest. I'm sure Kyria... No, Edgar wouldn't want any more innocent people implicated in all this.
Kale's right. The Traveler and I will take things from here. From our brief exposure to a goose, it would seem the substance has little effect on us. This leads me to believe those blessed with a vision or capable of wielding elemental power are more resistant to the effects of abnormal elemental energy. In other words, this environment doesn't pose as much of a risk to us. Actually, now that I think about it, this stronghold likely has multiple... I hate to try...
Thanks. Hear that?
Traveler, Emily, Paimon, for someone who's only...
Don't worry. This isn't... We're not going to... Monsters. Perhaps they were attracted here by the increased level of elemental energy.
I will have order.
I've never seen these scenes before. They must also have been created with the power of a delusion. It seems to be avoiding us, and there's no other way forward. Perhaps we could try luring it to the edge of the cliff.
even get all this? Must have taken a lot of...
I fear that statement is truer than you know, Paimon. Using a delusion...
But why would Kiria... He only needed a...
Perhaps hatred wasn't the only... Not long ago, he told me he didn't want all the... But Kiria betrayed Snezhnaya, abandoned Fontaine, and lived his entire... For someone with nowhere to call home. That destroys seeds. Huh. Quite the ecological marvel. Let's head back to the place where the seeds first appeared. flowers is getting stronger. We're almost at the end.
Did they catch up? No. My strength is just waning. But it doesn't matter. This...
This is a garden of ɪᴍᴜ flowers. But it's not mine. It's the one that was set on fire all those years ago in... Yelena? Yelena! You tried to hide it from me, but I always... The reason why you continued to use the delusion... The reason why you set your garden on... I shouldn't have listened to you that day. I shouldn't have taken the Mora and ran. But by the time I realized something wasn't right, there was nothing left. I know I'm almost 20 years too late. I should have died with you that day. Yelena? Yelena! No! Don't leave me! Please! Yelena!
I'm alive. No.
That was an illusion.
No. The amount of August I drank. A fake.
We started making the preparations last night to create a perfect... The accord is the basis of perfume making,
the product in its most primitive form. Ambergris mixed with cedar wood, rounded out with a base note of agar wood.
This is the scent of leather?
Exactly. We're unable to extract essential oils from leather, but by combining other raw materials, we can recreate its essence. That is the purpose of an accord.
Does that mean you can recreate any scent in the whole world?
I'm afraid not. Certain fragrances in this world are simply one of a kind. That quality is what draws people in and fuels their obsessions.
If I wear a goose to the ball, I'll also be one of a kind.
Our competitor already got their hands on it.
It doesn't matter how much it costs. I have to buy something better.
This fragrance will be one of a kind, no more. Myths can be deconstructed. Miracles can be recreated. All it takes is skill, experience, limitless exploration, and a little patience. The only thing left is determining where the real ɪᴍᴜ is hidden. Pretending to be attacked means he's not free to move around. ɪᴍᴜ must be hidden within reach.
Paimon took a peek through the window earlier and his house was packed with flowers.
The curator commissioned a flower pot from ɪᴍᴜ, capable of retaining heat and moisture.
Perfumes are as beautiful as flowers, and equally as delicate. When stored, you must take care to control the temperature and keep them away from direct sunlight. Did you get all that, Emily?
I got it.
Did you hear? Someone was attacked again last night.
So, Sylvain is dead. Is that right?
Yes, Master.
So, you switched the bottles of Auguste, and then lied to me about Sylvain's death.
Convincing you that your revenge had been completed was the easiest way to get you to let down your guard.
Impossible. Even if you found a way to switch out the bottles, there's no way you could have made an accord. If Auguste was so easy to replicate, Yelena wouldn't have.
It was a combination of rainbow roses, glaze lilies, and Cecilias. Those ingredients would have conflicted with each other if you tried to combine them in the past. But recently, we found a way for them to work together.
Rainbow roses, glaze lilies, and Cecilias.
Auguste was created over 10 years ago. All this time, people never stopped analyzing it, never stopped trying to recreate it. Perfumery techniques are advancing day by day. We found better ways to extract essential oils, separate oils, and the mythos surrounding Auguste may have been untouchable almost 20 years ago.
The past.
You've been working as a perfumer for all these years. You should have always known that it is possible to make an accord, but the meaning you assigned to Auguste became so inflated. You believed in its divinity and grandeur. Your obsession with Auguste is also what allowed us to predict how you intended your—
We just didn't expect it to happen so fast.
Well, so, since you've been prepared, that means the news—
Yes.
Who knows?
I know if you had things your way, all the crimes he concealed—
Is that so?
Whoa, he accepted that kind of fast.
I don't feel the need to justify. I did. But there's no going back.
Careful, everyone. I'll lead the way.
Stick close.
Looks like
Of course, Master.
the combination.
The scent of Auguste is so—
You're saying
rainbow roses, but if you call—
Rainbow Yelena.
Did you know? Miss Emily's Right. I heard about that.
Seems like everyone in Fontaine is talking about the new perfume you released.
I was hoping to release it with— I just hope it won't become the source of some new myth. Especially after all the— I did, although I made a few modifications to the formula to make— Also, I was hoping you could—
Of course! A good sense of taste. Oh, it smells great.
It's all right. All feedback is worth considering. Besides, when it comes to—
Right. Do those flowers have some
if I had—
a language of flowers?
What each flower is said to represent varies by person and across different moments in history. The same is true for the flowers that make up the scent of Auguste. After returning to Fontaine, I did some research, and it turns out the meanings of those 3 flowers can be— Perhaps that's the legacy Yelena always—
You think Kiria knew about that?
I paid him a visit before his trial, and who knows? Yelena is gone. We'll never know what she was thinking. We can look for— Even if that is what she was— Avenging her— Kiria cultivated his revenge like a flower. In any case, he did want— Thank you for saving my life. Love and hatred when someone dies, but Even if it's only a conjecture, the meaning we give to, and yet at the very
ᴅᴇʙᴛ. Thank you for completing. Ad Astra.
Bring the Knights of Favonius with you next time.